Hey, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Today I'm looking at Shin Godzilla, or as it was known in the West as Godzilla Resurgence. This is Toho's first Godzilla movie since Godzilla Final Wars, and that's excluding the 2014 Universal movie. This is essentially a reboot of the classic Godzilla, and Toho have used this movie to make a statement as well. While the original 1954 movie was basically an analogy for how nuclear energy and nuclear weapons had ruined Japan. This is kind of a statement at the Japanese government's kind of bureaucracy and red tape and kind of efficiency and need to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. It played into the fact that the response time for the Japanese people at dealing with hurricanes and at dealing with the meltdown of the Fukushima plant cost millions of lives. And this is an analogy of that. Essentially, like the classic Japanese Godzilla movies, Godzilla comes out of the bay. However, he does it in stages, and the government don't know how to approach this. They don't want to alarm the people, but they don't know how to deal with the creature. And when they do try and deal with it, certain events arise. For example, I think when it's in its second or third form, they're about to kill it while it's at a weaker stage in its life cycle. But they halt because there are survivors in the area and they don't know, the government don't know how to tackle it and don't want to be affected by public opinion. But at the same time, they're slow to respond, and as a result, the disaster itself escalates. As I said in that prior statement, Godzilla has stages. His first appearance is this tendril-like creature in Tokyo Bay. Then he comes out as Moto Katakun. I think that's the name. They're given different names, but that next one is like a kind of tadpole-like creature that doesn't have any front legs but back legs, and just it maws across the city and knocks buildings. Then it grows and becomes a quadrupedal. Goes from quadrupedal to bipedal creature, very much like a dinosaur, very upright, almost like the classic Godzilla, and then it comes back again in an even much larger, viciouser form. And this is one badass Godzilla. Its middle jaw can part when it's firing its atomic breath. Its atomic breath and energy can be fired from its tail and its spines, and it is the most destructive and scary fucking Godzilla I have ever seen. There's this mad part that I think it's the US government are dropping bombs on it, and a kind of almost glass-like eyelid or kind of mucous membrane appears over its eye to protect it from the blast. And the eyes, that's another thing that makes it so freaky. It doesn't seem to close its eyes. It seems to have its eyes perpetually open. And it seems in a perpetual rage. Its hands are held like that, and its eyes are just open and focused for destruction. It has a prominent chest bone. It is a freaking savage, scary looking creature. And it lends to the intensity of the movie. As I said before, the movie is a kind of parallel on how the government in Japan is so kind of strict and by the book. It fails to respond in time. They have to kind of appease everyone, and there's a chain of command, and I think the movie portrays that really well. A lot of people might find that kind of boring. They might kind of find the whole talking heads aspect boring, but I do think that it is an interesting element to put into the Godzilla kind of franchise, that the people behind the kind of the fight back against Godzilla are just as responsible for the destruction of Japan as the beast itself. The soundtrack is amazing. The entire creative team behind this movie is the guys behind Evangelion. If you're an anime fan, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen Evangelion, let me just tell you, it is an epic, crazy anime series, and these guys are really well suited to creating it. The score is amazing. The visual effects are amazing. It is kind of still a suit thing. There was a guy in a green kind of suit, but everything was composited over him, and it looks amazing. Some people might find the costume honky. I don't. I think it's badass. I think it's cool. And the end of the movie the day is kind of saved, but it's left with a very kind of chilling kind of conclusion that who's the real monster, and is Godzilla becoming more like us in an effort to survive? Is he evolving into something that we should be afraid of? And at the end of the day, I think Shin Godzilla is light years better than the 2014 movie, and it's a return to form for the classic kind of Toho Godzilla. So if you're a Godzilla fan, you've probably already seen this, but if you want to get into Godzilla, I think Shin Godzilla or Godzilla Resurgence or whatever you can get it as in your part of the world is well worth a look, and it's essentially a reboot, so you don't have to follow up or anything. Definitely check Shin Godzilla out. My name's Martin. This has been the Trash Picture Show. Like, subscribe, and yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.